What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Creepy TikToks. And before we get into it, make sure you smash the like button, leave a comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. If you want to, though, I'm not forcing nobody to do nothing that they don't want to do. But with that being said, let's get right into it.
I think of theme park rides likely to kill someone, I don't think about the miniature railway. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened at Gulliver's Land in Milton Keynes. Hugh Doe was 56 and from Newport Pagnell in Bucks. He was an engineer and he was working at Gulliver's Land on May the 10th, 2006. He had been doing some maintenance on the miniature railway train at the theme park, and after the work was completed, it's reported that he stood up after giving the driver the all clear to move the train on. Tragically, he was killed instantly when the train went into a tunnel. Hideously, it's reported that he suffered a huge amount of trauma to his skull and brain before being dragged through the 10-foot-long tunnel.
Damn.
When a health and safety spokeswoman was asked for comment, she stated that he had been decapitated. She stated, "There was probably 2.5 to 3 inches between the top of the carriage and the tunnel." The park was closed to members of the public the day after the incident as a mark of respect for the victim. There was an inquest into Hugh Doe's death. Eventually, it was announced that Hugh's death was labelled as misadventure.
You think people actually want to buy your shit after you literally cut up fucking flesh and bones and eyeballs and brains? Like, who the fuck wants to eat shit like that?
Well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
So prison really was not any type of difference for you. When I came on the trial and told my story about how
Whoa. Hold up. Hold up. Damn, whoa. How is she? Huh? How is she not in jail, bruh? Oh, wow. She already got out. Wow. Ain't that crazy? How is she out, bruh?
I was
What?
kidnapped and how I attacked you and you claimed that I tried to kill you, it was
You did try to kill me with a knife.
It was self-defense.
Huh.
You were never going to let me go.
Blood-curdling facts
Hold up. Hold on. Before we carry on, y'all let me know. Does he look like he's older than 25? How old was he when this happened? Bro doesn't even look like he's 22. I don't know. I'm sensing some BS.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 13. Hundreds of thousands of bodies have either been lost or buried at sea, so every time you swim in the ocean, you're basically bathing in a graveyard. Chainsaws were originally invented for childbirth. Female mummies in ancient Egypt were always decomposed more than the male ones, and this is because the male bodies were embalmed a lot sooner while the female bodies were kept at the family home until they started to decompose a little bit. And this was to prevent people from having sex with the dead female bodies. Vlad the Impaler was called this because he would place his enemies ass first on pointed poles that would slowly skewer them to death. Fatal familial insomnia is a disease where a person literally cannot go to sleep no matter what they take or what they do.
Damn.
The symptoms get progressively worse until they die of exhaustion. And for the last one, you might want to look up who invented blow-up dolls.
These are the people that left almost 200 bodies in their funeral home to rot for over 4 years. They were stealing people's money, not actually cremating their loved ones, and let me just show you their Facebook post and what they were actually doing with this money. Here they are, August 10th, 2021, on a family vacation in New York City at the Empire State
Thug
Building.
life.
In October
fuck?
of 2021, it looks like they were actually trying to buy his grandparents' old house. And they say, "We had a cash offer ready to go. Wonder where all that cash came from." Here's November 9th, 2021. Looks like they're in South Beach, Miami now, which is not cheap.
Hold on. What is your point, lady? Like, we already know that they have a lot of money. They own a funeral home. I'm sure they make plenty of money, right? What is she trying to what are we getting to?
Staying at a hotel
confused.
right on the beach. And here they are just 1 month later in December of 2021, bragging about their nice hotel in San Francisco. And then in February of 2022, another vacation, this time to Vegas. Him and his wife and his family all going on these vacations. Here's a
Well, yeah,
post from
they're
December
rich.
2021 talking about how he's so happy with where his businesses are at, the right people in the right place doing the right thing at the right time. Yeah, you were never doing the right thing.
Just to let y'all know though, I'm not defending them by any means. I'm just saying, like, what is she trying to get at? We already knew they had money. But what does that even have to do with the fact that they had a bunch of dead people that they didn't cremate? Like, and it really doesn't make any sense either. Like, why did they have all those bodies just chilling there? Like, come on, just you're making all this money, you might as well just cremate the bodies, right? Or bury them and shit. Like, I don't know. That's so fake, bro.
He says that having
That's
his own
fake.
fingers amputated has made him feel more complete.
Oh my god.
Yet he says he's only 46% of the way to becoming an alien. And what he has planned next is disturbing. This man hails from Montpellier, France, and his name is Anthony Lafredo. Anthony calls himself the Black Alien.
The fuck
He
is
began
wrong
his
with this guy?
transformation at the age of 27, and in order to look less and less like a human, he's already had tattoos all over his body, as well as numerous cosmetic surgeries such as removing his tongue, nose, ears, and 2 fingers. He's also had his teeth dyed purple, and the whites of his eyes black. He even had silicone implants implanted. To justify all this, he explains, first you have to know what you want. Then you have to have the courage to say it. And finally, you have to have the energy to do it. According to some sources, his next steps are to have his legs amputated and to become very thin. So we wonder what he'll look like when he's reached 100% of his transformation.
Why,
And
bro?
more importantly, we wonder why nobody's stopping him because he's clearly hurting himself.
Clearly, he cut off 2 of his fingers. Why? It doesn't make any sense, bro. Why are you cutting your fingers off and shit? And then he cut off his nose. I mean, I guess at this point, there's really no going back. But cutting off your legs, bro, come on, man. You need them to walk. How are you gonna walk? Can't walk without legs, bro. We're gonna get an alien themed wheelchair? Like, come on, bro. These people are weird.
But he says,
What the hell?
I'm lucky enough to live the life I want, to do what I want physically. It's absolute freedom. There's no one to stop me. Except that he still complains when he gets kicked out of public places like certain restaurants, which don't hesitate to ask him to leave.
I mean, what
And
do
the
you
rarest lip
expect,
type
bro?
is a Cupid's bow lip, where the middle of the upper lip dips down and there are 2 distinct peaks on either side. You can also see it more clearly here. It's difficult to quantify as there haven't been any high quality studies, but it's thought that less than 5% of people have this lip shape.
Okay.
Everyone laughed at him when he married her, but 2 years later, they regretted it. The story begins with this guy named Sean, who met Amelia and instantly fell in love. But when he would tell his friends about her, they would just laugh. But Sean knew he loved Amelia and was going to propose to her. Amelia had always been bullied because of her weight, but Sean loved her no matter what. When they went out in public, they would get dirty looks. People would laugh at them in the streets. But Sean did not care and decided to marry her.
Hey. I mean, shit. Shit. What's wrong with that? If they love each other, shit.
2
let
years
it be.
down the line, Amelia had a secret that
The
Sean
fuck?
did not know about.
Motherfucker
Sean was so
hating.
in love with Amelia, he decided to marry her regardless of people laughing at him. They got married on the beach and looked very happy. But 2 years down the line, Amelia had a deep secret. Sean started to notice that something was off. The couple looked happy, but Amelia was keeping something from Sean. Amelia had been distant for many months, and one day Sean decided
Bruh.
to ask Amelia
No.
what was wrong. Amelia finally opened up and said
Don't tell me she's cheating on him, bruh. No.
that she had been cheating on Sean.
Nah. On my mother's life, bruh. I've never seen this in my life. On my mother's life, I've never seen this. I called it. I always call it.
Immediately when Sean heard this, he was shocked. He was so angry
I'd
and felt
imagine.
betrayed.
In Texas, a
I would
17
I would imagine he was shocked. Who the fuck was she cheating on him with? Who was she cheating on him with? Like, damn, that's crazy. See, that's crazy though. That's crazy though.
year-old named Isaac
Damn.
Gonzalez was arrested after
It's
cutting
an
his
evil
ankle monitor
world.
off and taunting police on social media. Gonzalez, a murder suspect, who fired around 100 bullets into a residence, resulting in the unintended killing of an innocent woman named Novita Brazil and the injury of another person. He is now facing charges of murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Give him life.
Additionally, an unnamed 15-year-old boy is facing a murder charge in connection to the incident. The shooting took place when Gonzalez and the 15-year-old mistakenly targeted the wrong house, believing it to belong to a rival gang. This led to the death of Novita Brazil, a 25-year-old woman who was studying at her home. Following the shooting, the suspects engaged in a high-speed chase with the police and discarded several firearms believed to have been used in the incident. They were initially apprehended, but were able to post bail. During their arrests,
Clown.
both suspects displayed a shocking disregard for law enforcement and the seriousness of their actions.
Clown.
This
Was I supposed to
pedophile mom in
flinch?
Ohio committed one of the most horrific crimes I've ever read about. I'm going to add a trigger warning in here right now. This is a very, very disturbing story, so viewer discretion is advised. So this is Ashley Jessup from Ohio. And in 2012, she was found guilty of rape and sentenced to life in prison. But who did Ashley assault? Well, it was her own 10-month-old baby. At the time of this crime, Ashley was dating 24-year-old Jordan Russell. The two seemed to be very in love, and they frequently exchanged explicit materials over email and
What the fuck is wrong with these people? What is wrong with you people? Not y'all, but y'all that I see on these videos. This is crazy. A 10-month, like, come on. Come on, man.
text message of themselves, obviously. But then in August of 2011, Jordan asked Ashley to do something shocking. He asked her to perform explicit acts on her own 10-month-old baby son. And obviously he wanted her to film it and send it to him so he could keep these videos and images. And for some shocking reason, Ashley actually obliged. And she performed graphic and gruesome acts on her own son. So later that month, Jordan had actually broken up with Ashley and he already had a new girlfriend. And this new girlfriend of Jordan's was going through his computer when she discovered these extremely disturbing images and contacted the police.
God.
So obviously when the details of this case were made public, everybody was absolutely shocked. And the judge in this case actually stated that in his 30-year career, this was one of the most bizarre and disturbing cases he had ever had to cover. So Ashley was eventually convicted of a litany of charges, including assault, rape on a minor, everything like that. And she's still in prison to this day, serving out that life sentence.
Awesome.
Now, this is
Amazing.
a really, really disturbing story, and I really do think
Fucking
that she should be in prison for a very, very long time.
Jesus
The scene of one of the
Christ.
most
Oh my God. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Oh God. Who's I can't even ask, like, I was gonna say who's worse. Neither of them. They're both equally as fucking disgusting and evil. Her and him. God, that's just, oh my God.
Most
What a
notorious
sick
crimes of the
human
1990s is
beings.
for sale in Boulder, Colorado.
sick.
The house where John Benet Ramsey lived and died has hit the market for $6.25 million. I've done my best to match up the listing photos with the crime scene photos, so we're going to take a walk through and see what's changed and what remains the same. But first, let's talk about that price. A recent study done by Real Estate Witch tells us that a full 37% of people would consider it a deal breaker if the home that they were buying was the scene of a violent crime. So let's take a look through and see if you think they changed enough to warrant that high price. Here's what it looked like in '96 on the outside. Since 1998, they installed privacy gates and they actually changed the address of the house. Here's what the house looks like today inside. In this crime scene photo of the dining room, take a look at the French doors. They just painted them black and they left the same hardware. Much of the first floor looks exactly the same as it used to, even down to the curtain rods in this family room. New owners have put in a brand new kitchen. You can see the recognizable black and white tile flooring is gone, but they've kept this walk-in refrigerator and added a new stainless steel panel to the front. In the butler's pantry, the black and white tiling is still there. At first glance, the bathrooms in this house might appear updated. When you look a little closer at these old crime scene photos, you'll see they've added a new sink and top, but this vanity and the drawer pulls are exactly the same. And in some of the bathrooms, the distinctive black tile around the tub is still there. In the primary suite, we see that they replaced the old blue carpeting for some fresh beige carpeting, but not much else has changed.
You gotta give them credit though. They tried. They really tried. It actually looks beautiful. It looks like a nice ass house.
Even the wall sconces are the same. Downstairs in the basement where many think the crime occurred, it's been completely renovated. In this room, the new owners put in a wine cellar. While the rest of the basement used to be a series of storage rooms, it's now one big open entertaining space. Obviously, a lot of this price comes down to the stunning location, but this house was sold in 1998 for only $650,000.
Wow.
And it has been on and
Talk about a great investment. Talk about a great return on investment. Damn, I wish I could go back in time.
off the market at least 6 times
Even though I
since
wasn't
then.
even born yet.
Most recently with a huge price increase. This place is already priced way higher than any homes around it. So what do you guys think? Would you live here?
This woman was shot and killed by a real-life killer clown. Marlene Warren opened her door to see a clown holding flowers and balloons. As the 40-year-old woman reached out to take the gift, the clown pulled out shooting her in front of her son. Her son said this was a full clown costume. Makeup, a red nose, wig, and the clown calmly walked away and drove off in a white Chrysler. And Marlene Warren sadly passed away in the hospital a short time later. This happened in 1990 in Palm Beach, Florida, but it sadly remained unsolved for 27 years.
Holy shit.
And the killer was sentenced this year in 2023. Her husband Michael looked suspicious because he was not home at the time. But because of the elaborate disguise, her son was unable to make a helpful police sketch. The same year of the murder, a coworker of Marlene's husband tipped off police that his wife had been having an affair. His wife left him, and then Michael, now being widowed, married her in 2002. And in 2017, Sheila Keene Warren was arrested for the murder of Marlene Warren. So what was the most damning evidence, and why would solving this take 27 years? Testimony from a local shop placed Sheila buying the costume 2 days before the incident. Also, this was May, so I don't know why she picked a clown costume. Here's another photo of her, and what I'm assuming is a different clown costume. Maybe this lady just had a thing for clowns. A white Chrysler was located a few days after Marlene's passing, and inside they found a long brown hair and orange fibers. Similar orange fibers were found in Sheila's home, and they were likely from the clown wig. This was in 1990, and DNA testing was in its infancy. The cold case was reopened, and the brown hair was tested to be Sheila's, Michael's new wife. She was arrested in 2017, but wasn't sentenced until 2023. Sheila was sentenced to just 12 years for the murder as part of a plea deal. And with time served, she's actually going to get out sometime relatively soon. Michael was not charged, even though I'm sure he knew that his second wife killed his first one. In a recent interview with Michael and Marlene's son, he said that he's just glad to have closure. But what do you guys think? How long should she have gotten for the murder of Marlene Warren?
They should have gave her more, but at the same time, the evidence is I'm sure they weren't positive that it was her. They just said, fuck it, let's just give her time so we can just say we got somebody. I don't know. I mean, that's crazy though. Oh, what the? Is that a cereal?
Where's your emergency?
My house.
Okay, what's the emergency?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
You just killed your mother and your sister? How did you do that?
I shot them with a .22 revolver.
Are you sure they're dead?
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
You shot him with the .22? That's crazy with the .22. He had to shoot them a lot of times to kill them with the .22. I mean, I guess unless he shot him in the head, but .22 is a really small bullet, if y'all don't know.
I want you to stay on the phone with me, okay? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Where is the gun?
It's on the kitchen counter.
Is there any reason that you were so angry at your mother and your sister?
don't know. I wasn't. It's weird. I wasn't even really angry with them. It just kind of happened. I've been kind of planning on killing for a while now.
The two of them, or just anybody?
Pretty much anybody.
Why?
I don't know. I don't really like people's kind of attitude.
Right.
I think they're very like, you know.
I'll be damned if my creation takes me out of this world. That's crazy. She carried this motherfucker in her stomach for 9 months and then took care of him. How old was he? 17. Took care of his ass for 17 years, feeding him, wiping his ass, changing his diapers, buying him Christmas gifts, buying him Easter gifts, buying him costumes on Halloween, paying for his school clothes, paying for all his food. All that shit just for him to murder her. Not crazy? That is sick, bro.
Emotional, I don't know, verbally rude to each
And he
other
doesn't even
stuff like
care,
that.
bro.
Right.
No emotion.
It's okay.
And his sister,
My
too.
family, I don't know, they're just kind of really, I guess this is really selfish to say, but to me, I felt like they were just suffocating me in a way. I don't know. I think, obviously, you know, I'm pretty, I guess, evil, but that's, whatever.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm listening. Okay, you have my undivided attention.
This is really.
Don't be sorry. Oh, why are you? What?
You're gonna mess me up for this, you know, in the future. See my sister. I told my sister that my mom needed her.
Mm-hmm.
She was in her room, and she came out of her room, and I shot her, rolled down the stairs, and I shot her again. And I went down and I shot my mom about maybe 3 or 4 times. But I'll never forget this. My sister, she came down the stairs and she was screaming, and I was telling her that I'm sorry, but to just told Bill that, you know, I was just gonna make it go away, you know, but she just kept on freaking out. But finally she fell down and I shot her in the head about probably 3 times.
So they're both downstairs?
Yes.
Okay, where are you?
In the kitchen.
Okay. You're not sitting by the gun, are you?
No, it's about like 10 or 15 feet away from me.
All right. Where's your dad?
He's out of town.
Do you know where he is? Out of town?
Washington, D.C. And for, I guess, future reference, I don't really want to see any of my family members, you know? Like if I'm visiting or whatever. I don't know how it works or anything, but I just don't want any type of visitors.
This girl was kept
That's
in a box
sick.
and used as a sex slave for 7 years. 20-year-old Colleen Stan is an American woman who was kidnapped and held as a sex slave by Cameron and Janice Hooker in their California home for over 7 years between 1977 and 1984. Her case has received international fame and has been a subject of many books, films, and television series. On May 19th, 1977, Colleen Stan was hitchhiking from her home in Eugene, Oregon, to a friend's home in Northern California where she was heading to a birthday party. Cameron Hooker kidnapped 20-year-old Colleen after picking her up. Colleen said she was a very experienced hitchhiker and had allowed 2 rides to go past her before accepting the ride with Cameron Hooker. Colleen said she felt confident climbing into the blue van because Hooker's wife Janice and their baby were in the car. They then stopped at a gas station along the way and Colleen went to use the restroom. And she said a voice told her to run out and jump out the window and never look back, but she never did, which she definitely regrets. When they left, they got on the highway and Cameron Hooker pulled over on the side of the road and put a knife to Colleen's throat, all the way until they got to an isolated area. She was then locked in a wooden box that was designed to prevent light, sound, and fresh air entering. After this, Colleen was tortured and kept locked in the box for 23 hours a day until she was given a contract and forced to sign herself into slavery for life in January 1978. Her kidnapper also said that they were being watched by a powerful organization called the Company, and if she ever tried to escape, they would torture her and harm her family. Colleen then became a slave and her new name was Kay, and she was forced to call Cameron master. Cameron then started raping Colleen, and it was mostly consisting of oral rape. Cameron reportedly didn't want to have normal sex with Colleen because he considered that to breach his agreement with his wife. Instead, he raped her with objects. To avoid painful punishments, Colleen tried to comply with Cameron's commandments, which later led to her being allowed to go out to jog and work in the yard, and even help him with bigger stuff like an underground dungeon for more slaves. Even with an open door, neighbors, and a telephone, she never made an attempt to escape because her fear of the company kept her from seeking help. Additionally, Stan was also allowed to visit her family by herself in 1981, but did not reveal her situation due to her fear of the possible consequences from the company. Her family thought she was involved in some sort of cult, and they did not want to pressure her to stay in fear that she would stay away forever. The next day, Colleen returned for a second visit with Cameron posing as her boyfriend. Cameron feared that he had given his slave too much freedom and took her back to his home, where he locked her in the wooden box under his waterbed. She remained in the box 23 hours a day for the next 3 years. Colleen would go to the bathroom using a bed pen which she positioned under herself with her feet. Once Cameron's children had gone to bed, he would take Colleen out of the box and feed her and torture her. Colleen was not allowed to make any noise, and she had to stay still for 23 hours a day in the complete dark, with little to no air to breathe. In the summer, the box would get over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. In 1983, Colleen was allowed to get a job as a maid at a hotel, and Cameron wanted her to become his second wife, which was a turning point for Janice, who is his wife. And in August 1984, Janice began struggling with herself and went to Colleen. She then told her that Cameron was not part of the company and the company wasn't even real. Janice then helped Colleen escape to a bus station where they had Colleen's parents help bring her home. Colleen Stan is still alive today, and she experiences PTSD and has extreme back and shoulder injuries, which is from being trapped in a small box for 7 years straight. This case is extremely gut-turning, and could you ever imagine this happening to you? Luckily, Cameron Hooker was found guilty of kidnapping and sexual assault and was sentenced to 104 years in prison.
That's good. I'm glad he got what he deserved. I'm just confused by the company. What the hell's the company? And why does she believe that? She got a chance to go back home. She should have just told her peoples, like, let's go to the police. Whoop-de-whoop. Like, I have a hard time understanding that part. But, I mean, at least she got out, right? She got out alive, so that's good to hear. But, yeah, that's it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Tune in to the next one. Y'all have a good night, and, peace. I'm out.